Look closely at the world around you. Beneath the daily headlines, beyond the market noise, a colossal global machine is beginning to hum. This isn't about one country, one industry, or even one technology. This is about the fundamental rewiring of everything, from how money moves across continents, to how products are traced, to how data is secured, globally. And at the very core of this silent universal revolution lies a technology so powerful, so quietly adopted by the world's giants. It's about to trigger an earthquake that will shake every corner of the planet. We're talking about Hedera HBAR. For years, it's been the stealth builder, the quiet architect of tomorrow's digital infrastructure. But what's about to unfold in the next 4 months? This is the moment the world wakes up. This isn't just a prediction, it's a meticulously researched revelation of why Hedera HBAR is positioned to shock everyone across every time zone. If you've been watching from anywhere on Earth, wondering when the future truly arrives, that moment is now. Get ready, because the HBAR shockwave is global, and you're about to understand why. Comment HBAR Global below right now. You've heard the hype around countless digital assets. But Hedera is fundamentally different. Its patented hashgraph technology isn't just faster or more efficient, it's uniquely designed for enterprise-grade, globally distributed applications that demand scale, security, and fairness. While others were building for niche markets, Hedera was building for a digital planet. And now, the world is catching up. In this deep dive, we'll reveal the undeniable global forces propelling Hedera HBAR to unprecedented heights in the next 4 months. You'll discover 1. The global trust imperative. Why corporations and governments worldwide are turning to Hedera for data integrity and compliance. 2. The CBDC connection. How Hedera is quietly engaging with central banks across continents, positioning itself for the future of digital currencies. 3. Real-world assets. Real global impact. The explosive rise of tokenized assets on Hedera and how they're unlocking liquidity across borders. 4. Connecting billions. How Hedera's ecosystem is bridging traditional finance with a new digital economy, making it accessible for users everywhere. And 5. Beyond the hype, the undeniable metrics and use cases proving Hedera HBAR's foundational role in a truly interconnected world. This isn't just speculation, it's a detailed map of the global digital future, and Hedera is your compass. Get ready to understand why HBAR is not just an investment, but a stake in the global digital revolution that will shock everyone. Imagine trying to verify a product's origin, or a carbon emission report, across a global supply chain spanning 5 different countries, each with its own regulations and data systems. It's a logistical nightmare, plagued by trust issues and inefficiencies. This is a multi-trillion-dollar problem for multinational corporations and governments trying to enforce global standards like ESG, environmental, social, and governance reporting. But what if there was an invisible handshake, a universal digital notary that could guarantee the integrity and immutability of any data, from anywhere in the world in real time? This is precisely what Hedera Guardian is solving. It's allowing companies to log critical data onto the Hedera network, creating an unchangeable, transparent record. This isn't just about blockchain for transparency, it's about providing the foundational trust layer for global compliance and verified data streams. But how does this seemingly technical solution translate into the shocking widespread adoption that will propel HBAR? And what specific global giants, quietly operating across borders, are already leveraging this invisible handshake to their advantage? The scale of this adoption, once fully revealed, will fundamentally alter how industries worldwide operate. But here's where things get even more significant. Remember Hyundai and Kia, quietly using Hedera's energy-efficient network to monitor CO2 emissions across their global supply chain? That wasn't just a local initiative, it was a blueprint for universal verifiable ESG reporting. Now imagine that same level of transparent immutable tracking applied to every major industry, every multinational corporation striving for global compliance and sustainability targets. That's the power of Hedera Guardian. This is how major players ensure they're meeting carbon reduction goals, that their products are ethically sourced from suppliers across continents, or that pharmaceutical cold chains are maintained from factory to patient, no matter the border. The need for this transparent, universally verifiable data isn't just a corporate desire, it's a regulatory imperative in Europe, a consumer demand in North America, and a competitive advantage in Asia. This fundamental utility is driving adoption from giants who require a DLT solution that is truly enterprise-grade, not just for a pilot project, but for their entire global operations. This silent, underlying adoption of Hedera's core technology is laying the groundwork for the HBAR shockwave to hit every continent. But that's just one piece of the global puzzle. What about the very foundation of money itself, central bank digital currencies? From the European Central Bank's digital euro explorations to the Bank of England's digital pound initiative, and even nations in Africa and Asia exploring their own digital currencies, the race for central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, is undeniably global. Nearly 90% of the world's central banks are actively researching, developing, or piloting a CBDC. But here's the critical question. How will these disparate digital currencies, issued by different sovereign nations, actually talk to each other? How will a digital yuan settle seamlessly with a digital euro? This is where Hedera's engagement with global central banks becomes a quiet but profound revelation. While specific details often remain confidential due to the sensitive nature of central bank discussions, Hedera's public policy engagements, particularly in regions like the UK and its discussions around wholesale digital strategies, hint at a much larger global picture. What is Hedera offering these central banks that other distributed ledgers cannot? And how does its unique blend of enterprise-grade features position it to be a key foundational layer, or at least a critical component, for the truly global interconnected CBDC future? The answer lies in its core architecture, which leads directly to a massive multi-trillion-dollar global opportunity. The secret is Hedera's ability to offer a robust, compliant, and scalable platform for the issuance and transfer of regulated digital currencies, whether they are private stablecoins or future CBDCs. The Hedera Stablecoin Studio, trusted by names like Shinhan Bank, a major South Korean financial institution, and Standard Bank Group, a giant in Africa, isn't just for domestic use. It's designed to facilitate the compliant issuance of digital currencies, including foreign exchange stablecoins, which will be critical for global interoperability. Remember the PHBX stablecoin being launched by Philippine banks on Hedera? That's a national currency digitizing on the hash graph. And the AUDD, Australian Dollar Digital, also launched on Hedera. These aren't just local projects. They are foundational steps towards a network where a multitude of regulated digital currencies can exist and transact seamlessly on a single efficient distributed ledger. Hedera's focus on compliance, KYC, and AML, integrated directly into its services, makes it uniquely appealing to central banks and financial regulators worldwide. They need a system they can trust, that meets global standards, and that can handle the immense transaction volumes of national economies. This positions Hedera not as a competitor to CBDCs, but as a crucial neutral underlying layer that enables them to achieve true global reach and efficiency, further solidifying the inevitable HBAR shock. Imagine taking a piece of prime real estate in London, or a rare piece of art in Paris, or even a barrel of oil in the Middle East, and instantly turning it into a digital token that can be traded, fractionalized, and settled anywhere in the world, 24/7. This is the trillion-dollar wave of real-world asset, or RWA, tokenization that is poised to fundamentally reshape global finance. Currently, most of these assets are illiquid, geographically constrained, and burdened by complex legal frameworks. But what happens when they are brought onto a globally accessible, highly efficient digital ledger? Hedera's Asset Tokenization Studio is specifically designed for this. We've seen examples like Aberdeen, a major global investment manager, tokenizing parts of their multi-billion-pound money market fund on Hedera. This is not just a proof of concept, it's a giant stepping into the future of capital markets. But how does this global tokenization wave, driven by institutional demand across continents, directly fuel the utility and value of HBAR? And why is Hedera uniquely suited to capture a dominant share of this multi-trillion-dollar opportunity compared to other blockchains? The answer lies in its ability to handle immense scale and maintain the integrity demanded by traditional finance, worldwide. When real-world assets are tokenized on Hedera, every single transfer, every trade, every fractional ownership transaction, requires a tiny amount of HBAR to pay the network fees. This isn't theoretical demand, it's fundamental utility. As more real estate, commodities, intellectual property, and even private equity funds are tokenized and traded across international borders on Hedera, the demand for HBAR as the underlying network fuel will skyrocket. Think of it as a global digital stock exchange, where any asset, anywhere, can be traded. The liquidity unleashed by RWA tokenization on Hedera is set to attract trillions of dollars from institutional investors and wealth managers worldwide. This isn't just about unlocking value, it's about creating entirely new markets and efficiencies that legacy systems simply cannot provide. This surge in high-value, high-volume transactions, originating from diverse global markets, directly contributes to the accelerating utility of HBAR and is a major component of the shockwave we anticipate in the next 4 months. But what about the millions of small everyday transactions that truly connect the world? How does Hedera play a role there? While Hedera is tackling central banks and trillion-dollar assets, it's also quietly powering the next generation of global consumer applications. Imagine gaming platforms with hundreds of millions of users, or loyalty programs for massive international brands, or micropayments for streaming content in emerging markets, all running on a distributed ledger. Most blockchains struggle with this scale. They get bogged down, expensive, and unreliable when faced with billions of daily transactions. But Hedera's hashgraph technology is designed for precisely this level of throughput and reliability, at incredibly low, predictable costs. It's the only DLT truly capable of handling the demands of global enterprises that serve billions of consumers. We've seen hints of this through initiatives like Karate Combat, bringing combat sports fans onto Hedera. But what other massive consumer-facing enterprises, operating on a truly global scale, are about to reveal their deep integration with Hedera, bringing millions, even billions, of new users into the ecosystem? And how will this unprecedented level of global consumer adoption directly contribute to the massive HBAR shock in the next 4 months? The answer goes beyond traditional finance, into the daily lives of people worldwide. This is the HBAR global ecosystem explosion. From tokenized loyalty programs for international airlines, to secure digital identity solutions for millions across Africa, to scalable gaming platforms reaching audiences in Asia, Hedera is providing the invisible, essential infrastructure. Every user interaction, every in-game purchase, every validated identity claim, every micropayment, each consumes a tiny amount of HBAR as gas fees. Think of it as the ultimate global utility coin. As the digital lifestyle becomes increasingly integrated with Web3 technologies, Hedera's ability to provide enterprise-grade stability, speed, and affordability makes it the top choice for global corporations. We're seeing projects like ServiceNow, a multi-billion-dollar enterprise tech company, exploring Hedera for their global workflows, or the steady growth of USDC on Hedera, reaching almost $200 million and facilitating global transfers. These aren't just one-off partnerships. They are indicative of a fundamental shift where global enterprises are building their future on Hedera. This diverse, global utility is creating a compounding demand for HBAR, ensuring that its upcoming surge is not just speculative, but deeply rooted in real-world global usage. But what happens when all these global pieces finally converge? We've seen how Hedera is building the underlying fabric for global data integrity, central bank digital currencies, trillion-dollar asset tokenization, and even the daily digital lives of billions. It's a convergence of monumental trends, all demanding a DLT solution that is fast, fair, secure, and truly scalable at a global enterprise level. Most traditional blockchains simply cannot meet these demands without significant trade-offs in decentralization, cost, or finality. But what makes Hedera's hashgraph technology uniquely suited to be the indispensable backbone of this converged global digital future? Why is it the one platform that can handle the volume of global transactions, satisfy the strict compliance needs of multinational corporations, and still remain energy efficient for a sustainable future? And what happens when the entire world truly recognizes that this silent giant, Hedera HBAR, is the critical piece missing from their digital transformation puzzle? The answer isn't just about market capitalization, it's about the fundamental infrastructure of the next global economy. And the realization of this truth is precisely what will ignite the most shocking HBAR surge we've ever seen. The moment of convergence is upon us. Every piece of the global puzzle, from the deepest institutional finance to the smallest consumer transaction, is now being solved by Hedera's unique technology. The global data integrity solutions, the stealthy central bank engagements, the explosive growth of real-world asset tokenization, and the massive consumer adoption are all building towards an undeniable crescendo. This is not a regional phenomenon, this is a planetary shift. And Hedera HBAR is at its epicenter. When the global investment community, finally grasps the true depth and breadth of Hedera's real-world, global utility, the demand for HBAR will be unlike anything we've witnessed before. We're talking about a surge fueled by governments, corporations, and billions of new users worldwide, all unknowingly contributing to BAR's utility. The technical charts are aligning for this monumental breakout. The next 4 months represent a critical window where we expect major global announcements, further enterprise integrations, and a compounding effect from all the foundational work Hedera has quietly laid across continents. This is when HBAR will break free, entering price discovery fueled by unprecedented global demand. This is not just about a temporary pump, it's about Hedera HBAR cementing its place as an indispensable global utility asset. The long wait, the patience, the understanding of its true power, it all culminates in this moment. Get ready, because Hedera HBAR will shock everyone across the globe. The hashgraph revolution has begun. You are now armed with the insights to understand why Hedera HBAR is on the cusp of a truly global shockwave. You see the invisible forces, the quiet giants, and the undeniable utility propelling this asset onto the world stage. You have a global edge that others simply don't. If this video has transformed your understanding of Hedera's global potential, if you're ready to be part of this monumental shift, then smash that like button right now and subscribe. Let's build the most informed community in crypto, one global insight at a time. Turn on notifications so you never miss a critical update that could impact your portfolio, anywhere in the world. And to fully capitalize on this global opportunity, you need to watch my next video, the top 5 global HBAR ecosystem projects poised to explode on the world stage. The link is on your screen now and in the description below. Don't miss out on the projects building on this incredible global technology that could deliver even more explosive returns. Your global financial future awaits. Click that video now, and let's conquer the world economy together. The HBAR shock is universal. Be ready.